Good Tuesday. Welcome back. This 28th day of November. 2 more days left in the 11th month. December rolling around on your Friday and rolling right on through our forecast. No winter weather in store. In fact, more 60s tomorrow. Beautiful day in the neighborhood today. And speaking of today's date, on this date in our weather history, if you roll back the clocks to 1995, the Jackson Weather Service recorded nearly 4.5 inches of snowfall on the ground. It still stands as a record and still stands as the snowiest day in November ever since they started keeping data back in 1981, I believe it was. But we've got 60s in store for tomorrow, or rather weak cold front thereafter that will give us a slight chance of some showers Thursday. And we're back into the 50s and close to 60 for several days thereafter. Local headlines in just a few moments. Right now, the most recent robbery in eastern Kentucky is that of a pharmacy in Belfry. Total Pharmacy Care was robbed at gunpoint this morning before 10 o'clock when a masked man walked in demanding prescription pills, not money, pills. Not unheard of either. He did get an undisclosed or undetermined amount of pills and fled the scene and got into a dark-colored vehicle that was last seen heading in the direction of Route 319. So far, state police have released no other details, but are searching the area, hoping there are some eyewitnesses that might be able to give them some more information. Our state representative, John Blanton from Sagersville, testified today before the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in support of a total repeal of the Obama-era's Clean Power Plan, CPP for short from here further, which proved, he says, disastrous to coal country in eastern Kentucky and to the region. Saying his district is in the heart of Kentucky's coal country in eastern Kentucky, and for far too long the country has been victim to the policies that limit our growth by overregulation. Policies put into motion by the Obama administration, like the CPP, would have provided no meaningful impact on the planet's climate, but would have and have had a devastating impact on the U.S. economy. The hearing covers 2 days in Charleston, West Virginia, and is widely seen as encouraging to coal workers. For years, the EPA was criticized the Obama administration for never holding a hearing in West Virginia, and in doing such denied coal workers and others in a major coal region that spans into Kentucky, of course, the chance to comment in person. Blanton also commended the recent announcement by EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt on his intention to repeal the CPP. The proper role, he says, of the EPA under the Clean Air Act is to regulate air emissions and not to dictate to states how they should produce electricity. I got a couple of calls at different times, yesterday and today, from our viewer, friend, neighbor, Ben Gardner. The first one is on our community calendar. Probably guess what that is. The other, though, is about a phone call he says that he got, I believe this might have been last night, saying that his grandson had been arrested in Vancouver on charges of drunkenness and wrecking a rental car, and that he would take $900 to get his grandson out of jail. Ben hung up the phone, called his grandson, who probably wasn't excited to be awakened by Ben. He was asleep in his home in Las Vegas. But another, and albeit very similar story that we hear from time to time. Scams of this nature still continue, and some and many continue to be successful. So be on alert and keep that in the back of your mind. Johnson County's Chris Stapleton up for 3 Grammy nominations. How's that? Best Country Solo Performance, Best Country Performance, and Best Country Album. Of course, just after the most recent big awards show just a couple of weeks ago. So we're looking forward to more announcements on that front. I did get an announcement just days ago that the Eagles are on tour with Glenn Fry's son, standing in for him, of course, after his passing. And I also heard that Stapleton is going to be performing with them, and I was immediately looking for a ticket. The only show that I found, though, is in Texas and a little too far away. But keep your eyes out. They might get together somewhere closer to our part of the world. And what an incredible show either are by themselves. Put them together, and that could be nirvana. With that said, we've got local headlines coming up in just a few moments. Are you looking to visit or come home to Sagersville to relax, reconnect, or maybe ride the Dawkins Trail? Then you have to stay in our luxurious lofts over downtown that comfortably and conveniently accommodate parties of 1 to 10 with king beds, beautiful decor and furnishings, and walls adorned with the city's history. There's absolutely nowhere else like the Mortimer Lofts. Book directly through VRBO Find them on Facebook at the Mortimer Lofts of Sagersville or call 606-349-3299. A Sagersville man arrested in Lawrence County on US 23 by state police on serious drug-related charges. 2 men in Johnson County arrested for burglarizing and basically vandalizing and living in the home of a Johnson County woman jailed on Magoffin County drug charges and Johnson County murder charges. Those are some of our headlines that start now. Trooper Newsom with the Kentucky State Police, that's out of Post 14, notes that 29-year-old Jonathan C. Owens of Sagersville pulled into a dead-end road off of US 23 in Louisa, a road known to have no residences or structures, and then the vehicle then pulled out and continued northbound on US 23, the same direction it was originally traveling. The trooper then stopped the vehicle after he noticed it was speeding, and upon obtaining information from the man in the vehicle, or the subjects in the vehicle, I should say, his information did not match his Kentucky operator's license information, at which time he was asked to get out of the vehicle. He was detained at that time, and upon getting out of the vehicle, the trooper notes that he noticed several clear baggies in his seat, and as Owens emptied his pockets, he observed several other clear baggies hanging out of his wallet, and then he observed the top of a clear baggie sticking out from the floor mat in the passenger side of the vehicle where Owens was seated. And he also noted that Owens had nearly $900 in assorted bills in his wallet. Owens and the operator of the vehicle then granted consent to search. The only item that he located, that being the trooper, was a clear baggie under the floor mat that contained a crystal white substance believed to be crystal methamphetamine. After placing Owens under arrest, he stated that he had provided him the wrong information and false name. He had actually given him information, driver's license, social security information that belonged to a brother. Owens was charged with trafficking in a controlled substance in the first degree for methamphetamine, possession in the first for methamphetamine, both felony charges, and for giving an officer false identifying information. That arrest was Sunday, as was the arrest of 2 men charged with burglary and other charges as well. This woman, however, is the property owner of the residence that they burglarized. Amanda Mead has been in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, first and initially on serious drug charges here in Magoffin County after a traffic stop by the Magoffin County Sheriff's Department. And it was about a week later, while already incarcerated, that she was indicted by a Johnson County grand jury on a charge of murder for the death of her newborn child after cutting the umbilical cord and allowing the child to die, being pronounced dead a short time later at the hospital. In jail on those charges, authorities, that being the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, got a complaint Sunday of individuals and suspicious activity at her home on North Buckingham Avenue in West Van Leer. And Deputy Tim Clark responded to her residence and immediately could hear someone inside. Now, I spoke with deputies in the Johnson County Sheriff's Department today, says that Clark noted that he attempted to gain entry but was refused as such by those inside. Clark, knowing that they did not have permission to be there after already speaking with Meade in the Big Sandy Detention Center, her instructing him that no one was to be there. But inside were ultimately 2 men that were discovered with the assistance of the Painesville Police Department. 26-year-old Brian Cantrell of Hager Hill was found inside. He claimed to have permission to live there and claimed to have a relationship with Meade, and also claimed to have invited the man inside with him, identified as Robert Haney. However, deputies say that that was not the case. Tim Clark also noted that the home had been completely vandalized, and it was completely unfathomable the amount of drug paraphernalia, specifically used and uncapped needles, that were strewn about the entire residence. As a result, Cantrell was charged with burglary in the 2nd degree, possibly other charges pending, and the other man, identified as Robert Haney, was also charged with burglary in the 2nd degree and was also executed with an indictment warrant and 2 other bench warrants, and altogether as well indicted on trafficking in the 1st, possession in the 1st, being a persistent felony offender, and being in possession of drug paraphernalia. Both are still lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center at this hour. And also at this hour, the only details that I have about this arrest are that 54-year-old Lana Sloan, who has a Sayersville address, is lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. Court documents that I obtained don't reveal much or any details about as to why she was considered a fugitive from another state, but she was arrested by police in West Liberty with the West Liberty PD, I believe, at around 3:30 this Monday on a charge of being a fugitive from another state, specifically out of Buchanan County, Virginia. We're still trying to track down the details as to what crimes she was alleged to have committed and why she is considered to be a fugitive from Virginia at this time. While we've been doing a customary Wednesday update on the list of candidates that, of course, we expect to continue to grow all the way through January the 30th here in Magoffin County, we will do one today in lieu of not being able to work one in lieu of Thanksgiving last week. So with that said, several names to be added to several races here in Magoffin County and several new races, meaning several individuals being the first to file for those respective or on those respective ballots are also making the list tonight. Beginning with the constables' races in Magoffin County, nothing new to add for either District 1, 2, or 3. James Rudd, Republican, the only candidate in Constable District 1. Democrats Silas Saylor and Dewey Marshall, the only candidates thus far in District 2. Richard Rex Love, Larry Bubby Carpenter, and Alvin Jr. Kraft, all Democrats to run. Actually, I believe Alvin Jr. Kraft is a new addition in regards to the list, I believe. Another Democrat, but all Democrats thus far, and only Democrats for the constable's race in District 3. Magistrate's race, District 1, unchanged. Darrell Ray Howard, Harlan Sarge Rao, Ella Allen, and Ivan Neal Howard. Republican, 2 Democrats, and another Republican, respectively. The incumbent has added his name to the ballot for Magistrate District 2, joining Eddie Jenkins, the only Republican, and fellow Democratic candidate Gary Ward, that being Purnell Buckle-Master. Magistrate's race in District 3, unchanged. Nelson Lovely, Republican, followed by Democrats Joe Bailey, Randall Reisner, Brian Pennington, Ralph Lovely, and Charlie Brown. Magoffin County's coroner, Mark Jenkins, still the incumbent and still the only candidate to file on the Democratic ballot. The incumbent Magoffin County jailer, the only Democrat to file thus far for his office, and Greg Minnick, still the only Republican to file. A new addition makes 4 individuals running for Magoffin County Court Clerk. Democrat and incumbent Renee Arnett Shepard, Josie Wireman Bailey on the Republican ballot, and then Anthony Wayne Rose, all thus mentioned before. Oh, my apologies. All joined now by another Democrat on the ballot, Big Tony Allen for Magoffin County Court Clerk. A new name for that of Magoffin County Sheriff, already mentioned before, Mike Nichols, Republican, Republican Bill Meade, Republican William Jeff Salyer, Democrats Randall Bob Jordan, David Neal Howard, and Johnny Lovely, incumbent Carson Montgomery, and independent Rick Jordan. Arthur Perkins, also another independent candidate, now newly added to the ballot. And I believe just as of today, another name added to the list of candidates for Magoffin County Judge Executive. William Helton, Danny Salyer, and Matthew Chalmer Wireman on the Democratic ticket, and then Joshua Ray Puckett, Brent Patrick, and John Montgomery on the Republican ticket. Another Democrat to add, Ronald Reed, has filed his intent and deep information to run for Magoffin County Judge Executive just earlier this afternoon. There's now a race for PVA, Property Valuation Administrator in Magoffin County, after Jerry L. Patrick and Benji Gibson both have filed to run for PVA, both passing the qualification test, if you will, to do so. I believe several others also took, and I believe passed that as well. One candidate, the incumbent for Magoffin County Circuit Clerk, that being Tanya Arnett Ward on the Democratic ticket. A few other races to add real quickly tonight before we take a break. In the Commonwealth's attorney's race for the 36th District, Magoffin and Knott counties, the son of the current Commonwealth's attorney for that district, Todd Martin, has filed to run and replace his father on the Democratic ballot. I'll be right back. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions,
or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
It's been one of the busiest days, a couple of days here actually, that we've had, not all in part from getting caught up from Thanksgiving. In lieu of that, I've got tonight's community calendar in front of me and not in front of you on the screen real quickly. Candy Cane Lane, you'll be glad to know, at the Gardner Farm is now open for the Christmas holiday. Tours to see the lights are nightly from 6 to 10. Santa, I hear, kids, should start to show up around Candy Cane Lane sometime around the first day of December. Now, this is not a calendar announcement, of course, just one that I also haven't got prepared today. It was to be a commercial, and we'll get to that tomorrow, but it's one that we've made every year for years now at their request. The Keeping Room in Sagersville wants to invite everyone to their 18th annual Christmas open house this weekend, Friday and Saturday from 10 till 4, of course, offering incredible primitive handcrafts, folk art, Christmas items, antiques, soaps, candles, much more. You can never put it all down in pen or paper. And there will be a 10% discount for anyone who mentions this ad, by the way. Keep that in mind. And some ever so tasty and wonderfully aromatic refreshments are going to be served as well. The old-fashioned Christmas at the Keeping Room. That's just the lower end of town in Sagersville there on the right as you go out of Sagersville for their 18th annual Christmas open house. I'll have that up on an ad for you on tomorrow's program. Don't forget about the benefit held this Saturday, December the 3rd, in honor of Maisie Puckett, who, as I understand, was last in a coma after bypass surgery, and Janet Smith, suffering from stage 3 cancer. It's going to be a gospel sing, there will be concessions, and an auction. I think it's at the community center in downtown Sagersville. I will confirm that. If you would like to help support with any items, monetary or otherwise, call 349-1267. Two more. The Holiday Wreath Workshop is this Friday at the Extension office. It's $10 to register. Call them and register. They need to know how much material to have. And that $10 gets you all the live greenery you need and materials to make your own ornament, or make your own wreath and keep it. And that also includes lunch as well. And they can fix lunch, trust me. That is at any time. You stop in any time this Friday from 11 till 6, 349-3216. And they're also now taking registration for their country ham project for $40. It's a great Christmas gift. You can get a ham, and for about 2 or 3 meetings throughout the year, you'll learn how to salt, cure, hang the ham on their premises. It's a great project, great Christmas gift, and great fun too. 349-3216. Here's the rest of this evening's announcements via tonight's Magoffin County Funeral Home sponsored obituary listings.
And my apologies. The entire listing is for Shirley Marie Prater Robinette, and for whatever reason, the Robinette did not show up on the screen here. My apologies to the family, but nevertheless, 79-year-old Shirley Robinette of Cripple Creek passed away on yesterday, married to George Robinette, who preceded her in death. She's survived by daughters Janet Powers, Judy Howington, Joanne Craze, Georgetta Robinette, Rebecca Robinette, Virginia Fletcher, and Brenda Arnott. Visitation is this evening, and prior to services, they'll begin tomorrow at 2, all from the Magoffin County Funeral Home, with burial afterwards at the Cook Family Cemetery on Cripple Creek. And once again, that's 79-year-old Shirley Marie Prater Robinette. I did a recent update on our editing software, and for a couple of occasions, the fonts in regards to the situation there with that, and I know the weather forecast was experiencing some details yesterday, aren't cooperating. I'll do a reset tonight, and we'll see how that works out. I think I got the forecast right tonight, though, and I do hope so, because it's a nice one. We've got clear skies again tomorrow, nighttime lows above freezing, well above 37 degrees, and clear skies out there. You might feel a little wind coming out of the southwest, 3 to 5 miles per hour or so, but that's pretty much it. You'll feel the sun on your face or your back, whichever direction you're headed tomorrow, and 61 degrees for your Wednesday, mostly sunny. That southwest wind around 5 miles per hour or so will start to calm in the morning. Tomorrow night, maybe partly cloudy and a low of 43. That's out and ahead of a front that doesn't affect temperatures Thursday, but conditions maybe in the afternoon. I think Thursday we'll see partly sunny skies again, temperatures right around 61 again, and then maybe around after 2 o'clock or so, a 40 to 50% chance of showers that will linger on through a couple of hours after midnight or so, 2 to 3 in the a.m. into Friday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and a low of 39. Those shower chances in lieu of a cold front that's not going to give us a great deal of precipitation or a real great change in our temperature span either. No complaints either. Friday, 52 and 35. We're back to sunny, mostly sunny conditions and partly cloudy skies. Technically, there's a 10% chance of some lingering showers up until, say, 7 o'clock Friday morning or so, but didn't even put it on there, didn't want to. Not going to, unless it changes. And for your weekend, looking quite nice. If you're still fighting those Christmas decorations or anything else you want to do outside, it's going to be cooperative. Saturday, 55 and 34, mostly sunny. More sunshine above on your Sunday. Temperatures in the mid-50s again. Monday of next week, I think we're staring at another 60-degree day as well. And we got another front after that, but like the one this week and the last few, it's not got a lot of oomph to it. And again, I have no problems with that.
So that's going to wrap it up for tonight. We still have meetings. I think tomorrow the Magoffin County Fiscal Court is to meet. Several other things slated throughout the week. Also, information on the now changed sentencing date, but still soon to be, for that of Greg Howard of Magoffin County, who has, of course, been jailed on federal charges since he was involved in a raid at Howard's Grocery on Lick Creek. We'll be covering a lot of that on tomorrow's program, as well as some other breaking news. We'll have that, and as you know, the rest of the drill. Other news you'll only see if you see us here. Next time. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.